Hello, hello. How are you? How's everyone doing? Heather and Nicole, T-Rex, Hippo King, Gus is here, Brittany's here, Rona's here. Oh, how are you guys doing today? It's gonna take me a minute to get my mind wrapped around what we're doing. I'll explain why in just a second, but hang tight. Let me go ahead and get some music playing so that it's not a plain silent background. My name is Gabe. Hello. Not my name is Gabe. Your name is Gabe. Andre, hello. How are you? I'm so sorry if my voice sounds at all scratchy. I was sick all last week. I didn't really say anything on my social media platforms or anything like that, but yeah, I was really run down, really sick. So I missed work on a few days and have not been feeling well, but here we are. Also, why I'm gonna probably be coughing throughout the stream. Hi, Goldie. Hi, Amber. You're here. Woohoo! Is the music too loud? Okay, you can hear it. Should be good. Why is chat not on screen? Oh, well, okay. We're gonna deal with that later. Anyway, I just got done with a work meeting / interview. So it was a work meeting / interview with my current employer. There is some shifting around with positions, and so I was speaking with my management team about possibly moving into a different position. And so I always get really nervous in interviews and stuff like that, so I can still feel my hands kind of shaking. And I'm halfway done with my coffee, so I'm sure caffeine is playing a role in it a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of decompress. I like literally had 3 minutes in between ending my interview and jumping on stream. So apologies if my mind is all over the place. Hello from Scotland. Hi, Emma. Aw, thank you, Sims Reptile. I appreciate that. I was changing my bird's food and water. Glad you weren't late. Me too. I need to clean my bird cage today as well. What are we doing? Gameplay. Woohoo! We're here. Make sure everything is up except for, I wonder if something happened with my Streamlabs, because none of my Streamlabs stuff is working. So we're just gonna scoochy this on up. There we go. Perfect. Right underneath. And we're good to go. Thank you, Rona. Yeah, my job situation since February has been uber stressful. For those of you that don't know, I lost my job at a company that I worked for 5.5 years. And so then I was unemployed for a month and a half, 2. And then, I got my new job, and it's been kind of a stressful thing. So hopefully it's gonna even itself out and calm the heck down so that I can stop stressing and worrying about that so much. But we will see. Yet to be determined. Is the music a tad loud? I can definitely turn it down. I think I had asked, but I didn't see any responses, so thank you, Heather. A little too loud. How is that? Is that better? Oh, wait, you're using headphones. Well, let me know if that is good for you guys. Much better? Perfect. Beautiful. Welcome to our stream zoo, which still doesn't have a name. Eventually, I think we're going to name this project, but we'll see. So for those of you that are new or just tuning in, this is our stream zoo. Chat is going to decide what we do, what we build, and how we build it, for the most part. So down below me is a super chat menu. All of those things are purchasable by super chat, and that kind of determines the stream. But if you are not able to super chat, don't worry, because we do leave a lot of things up to a free community poll in the chat. So keep an eye out for those polls in the chat so that you can help decide what happens. But last time we made this little path to start a Przewalski's wild horse habitat, and I forgot. Let me, here are my notes, which I have written random notes all over, so I may need to start a new note tab. But we have Przewalski's wild horse habitat donated by T-Rex, and then we do have to complete the conservation center that Amber donated for. Yay, your horses! Let's hope they decide 15 is better. 15 for what is better? To delete something? Nobody's deleted anything yet. Might run a survey to suggest names. I can't run a survey on chat. But I can do one on Discord or Twitter or anything like that. But then I can obviously run a poll on Discord or here. Just got back from the barn and you're drenched. Is it hot out today? It's been better here. So anyway, let's get started. You know what? Let's actually first, what I really want to do is I want to take a field trip to Google and look for, I almost pronounced it phonetically, Przewalski's wild horse zoo habitat. Images, I'll let you guys see in just a minute. Oh, this is less than helpful. This is actually, let me split these tabs because one of them is my live stream and I don't want to accidentally close that out. So this is just a bunch of them, the actual horses. They're so cute. I love them so much. What I think is funny about them is they don't have, or at least they have very tiny forelocks, but they really don't have a forelock, right? So like their mane ends in between their ears and their forelock doesn't hang down. I think that makes them look kind of funny. They're not kept in many zoos, so what if we just did, I mean, I don't think horse zoo habitat is gonna bring anything. Actually, it brought up a few other things. Do you guys have suggestions while we get started of zoos that I can take a look at for hoofstock? So the only Przewalski's wild horse habitat that I've ever seen, this is not a Przewalski's wild horse habitat. The only one that I have ever seen is at the San Diego Zoo, the Wild Animal Park, or the Safari Park is what it's called now. When you were going on the tram, the African tram, up on the right-hand side was kind of like a rocky hill, and there was like an open dirt kind of area. That was really the only habitat that I've ever seen. Minnesota Zoo. Minnesota. My bad spelling abilities are showing. See if that shows anything. Oh, daughter. I mean, to be honest, if we look at, oh, what was this? That's kind of cool. Master plan. If we look at hoofstock zoo habitat, that's probably going to be our closest, but honestly, we're going to get a lot of like this. San Diego Zoo, where the heck is... Oh, Safari Park. I was like, this isn't at the zoo. Yeah, it doesn't help that they're rarely kept in captivity at all. No, that's why I think, like, I mean, we could do something like this. We could totally do something like this with the little covered, outstretched cover shade thing for guests. Where is this? Oh, this is the Dallas Zoo. Yeah, we could do this. I think I've actually even saved this picture before. You'd like to see a dry moat? Hey, Kari. You could look up barns. I don't really want to start with the backstage stuff, though. That's the thing. Hey, that's your neck of the woods. It is. We are actually sending, from work, 2 of the bears that we have are going to a zoo in Texas. but they're not going to any of the like main zoos in Texas. They're going to a little zoo in Texas. Honestly, I like this. And we could totally like this is completely recreatable. This is recreatable. How do we feel on this? Dallas Zoo? Should we vote for this? What's this? Great Plains Zoo Planning Lion Exhibit. That's pretty cool. I love the overhead shots because then you can kind of see how everything. I would recommend the Whipsnade, is that how you say that? Zoo in England personally. It does not house many species of hoofstock, but I believe it would be beneficial. Let's see. Let's go to Whipsnade Zoo. Images. Ooh, that's kind of cool. See, that's the thing, is I love having specific zoos. That's cool to search, because when you search for like zoo habitats, I feel like I get the same like 10 images, right? But when you search like for a zoo by name, you get a lot more results. Oh, that's kind of cool. The doors that open like halfway and all the way. I'd love to go to the Dallas Zoo. I like that this reference picture. No, not that one. This one that we found. I think we kind of mold off of this a little bit. So that's going to be our jumping off point for today. That's kind of cool, that little building in the back. That's going to be our jumping off. Ooh, I like this one too. This Houston Zoo, this otter habitat with the jaguars on top. I actually saw a vlog somebody did where they toured this habitat, I think, because that looks really familiar. Ooh, what's this? That's kind of cool. Okay, no. That's not for a horse. Focus. Focus. Actually, here, let's do this. Let's open this in a new tab, because then we get, voila, just the picture. And I put it over here, and I'm going to make it a little smaller so I can see my camera in case it freezes on a really unflattering face. Is that bad? I have to like plan my streams around my technology not working. Fort Worth Zoo is better, especially once they get their construction done. I hope to one day go to all the zoos. I mean, in the world would be a bit crazy, but that would be awesome. I know it's bound to freeze. Fossil Rim has horses. Carnotaurus is fast, super fast. Oh, Amber, take lots of pictures, please. All the pictures. I mean, of like fences, rocks, bathrooms. I don't care what. Just take all the pictures you can. Okay, so let's start. Somebody said dry mode. I would love to join you guys if I could afford a trip to Texas, but that is not going to be able to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. August is going to be a crazy month, and I don't really know how I'm going to keep YouTube stuff going. I have a couple vacations planned in August, and so oh, dang it. I like the path the way it is, so I'm not going to delete it, but I wish... That is annoying. But anyway, somebody said dry moat, so we'll start with that. In fact, actually, is that... might be a little bit too steep. Let's try it this way. You don't want to be here in August anyway. I know. It's too hot here. I can't even imagine actually going to a place that's truly hot. It's been ridiculously high. In fact, on Tuesday at work, I was still not really feeling well, and I went out in the heat. I needed to set up a couple different enclosures for animals that we were moving outside, and I had to sit down. I almost passed out. When you get really hot and you get like shaky and you feel weak and stuff, and then my vision started to tunnel, and I was like, this is not good. This is too hot. So let's do this and then bring this up, and maybe that's a good amount. And then we're gonna go up from here. Ooh, thunderstorms. You know what? I don't want it to get any hotter here, but I wish that we got like real weather. One of my favorite things, I have family that lives back east, and I love visiting them and like being in real weather when it's like rainy or thunderstormy or snowy or anything like that, because San Diego is the same temperature all the time. Just all the time, same temperature. That is a bit dramatic. We don't want that. Less dramatic, please. When I first read your comment, Amber, I read it as tomatoes. Oh, I'm tired. I was out a bit late last night because Matt had a cornhole tournament. And so because I had the day off and, you know, I didn't have anything to do early this morning, I went and I hung out and watched him play, which was great. But he almost won, which meant we were out really late. So I am pretty tired. Pretty tired. This is a bit itty bitty, and I forgot. We probably want to extend it over to here too, huh? Because this is a little small. Oh, hello. This one. The Artist Zoo in Amsterdam has a fantastic hoofstock area. They're also only establishment to house a nokel. I don't know how to say that one. Bactrian camels and reindeer together. Oh, that's very cool. I love combination habitats. I really want to do a habitat heavily inspired by the Przewalski's Wild Horse and Camel exhibit at the San Diego Zoo, because they have a pretty cool exhibit over in like Elephant Odyssey, the Elephant Odyssey area. So I really want to do one based off of that. I haven't found the time. And honestly, today I'm gonna, after we stream, I'm gonna probably eat something and take a break real quick. And then I've got some Sims builds to get going on, because High School Years just launched today. So I've got to download that and get going on some builds for that for the second channel, because I'm trying not to let the second channel feel neglected. I feel like it kind of sort of feels like the forgotten child. So I'm trying not to have that be the case. Let's do this like that. Beautiful. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Smooth this all out so we have a bit of a gradient. There we go. That feels like a better size. Yes. And then let's make it all, we're going to call it light dirt. Not sand, light dirt. And then we will do some variations on that. Because in the zoo that we are in, the dirt is too dark. We don't want muddy dirt. Hey, Tumbly! You made it! Yeah, and thank you guys all for, you know, showing up even though the time is different. I didn't let Twitter or Instagram know or anything like that. I've been so bad at kind of promoting my own streams. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Oh, look at this. What a beautiful backdrop. The Peace Graveyard. Look, you guys, we can use all these rocks. All these ones are the perfect color to mix in with some of the aquatic colored recolorable rocks. So we can definitely implement all of those in there. I'm lucky you woke up from your nap. You're feeding a kitten? Are you fostering a kitten or did you get a kitten? Either way, very, very cute. Muddy dirt all the way. Primal, who let you in? Let's steal this. Nope, this. As the jumping off point for this wall right here. Keep it kind of cohesive feeling. But we'll kind of sink it back into the dirt a little bit more. And then, well, we could always do something like this and have it be angled. It's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Sinks. Saves me from having to make another one, so that's good. Let's just see how this looks if we kind of get this around. Oh, you found him having a heat stroke. Good for you for helping him out. Poor little guy. But also, so I've said this before, and Matt's always like, you don't need another one. But I'm like, why can't I find animals like that? Like, I hear stories of people finding animals that need help, like little baby animals and kittens and stuff like that. Stories all the time, but I never find them. Somebody else always finds them. And I'm like, I want to find an animal in need that I can help. We get animals in at work all the time that are having heat strokes. When you were 12, your mom and you found 3 kittens in a paper bag? Oh, that's really sad that they didn't make it. But see what I mean? Like, I want to find animals. The problem is I wouldn't get rid of them. And that's why Matt doesn't want me to find them, because I would 100% keep them. 100%. I'm going to do that just for a bit of variation and then delete these rocks because they are sticking out into my path and I don't want them to. Like so. Beautiful. Yeah, being part of a rescue for 15 years, it's the first time you've actually found it first. Yeah. Fun fact, my cat is rescued because his whole family was poisoned. Oh my gosh, that's awful. And then what we can do to make it a little bit different is we can sink a rock into the side, like a so. Oh, hello. A rock into the side, like this, and like that. Gonna be kind of Italian for a second, like this and like that, like Mario. Gosh, I'm tired. I'm like just now realizing it's hit me, just realizing now how tired I am. As a sleepy. You once adopted a praying mantis while on holiday vacation in Cyprus. Obviously not the same, but wholesome nonetheless. Praying mantises are really cool. I mean, okay, so I guess I always forget this, but Mango, my big orange male cat, I do have because I found him. But he was like a 6-month-old kitten and there was nothing wrong with him. He was just running around outside my parents' house when I lived at home. And I had friends over that night, and a couple of my friends smoked cigarettes, and they weren't allowed to smoke like in the backyard of my parents' house, understandably, because, you know, my parents didn't want that in their backyard. So they would go out in the front yard, and so they went outside, and the rest of us were kind of hanging out inside, and it was like midnight or so it was pretty late. And then one of my friends comes back in, and he's like, Savannah, there's a kitten in your front yard. And I was like, what? Really? And it's midnight, so, you know, cats ideally should hopefully be indoors so that they are not roaming around outside by themselves. And so I went out there and I was like, oh my gosh, it is a kitten. And so we caught him. He ran under the car, but then he came out shortly after that, and he was not hard to catch at all. So I brought him inside. We gave him some water and, you know, kind of hung out with him and stuff like that. He was super friendly. So obviously somebody's pet. So then the next day I posted on both Craigslist and I think Pet Finder. There was one other site that I like posted on, and then we put up posters the next day as well as, like, you know, found cat. We didn't put pictures of him because I didn't want somebody just saying like, oh, that's my cat, because they wanted him, you know? So we put up posters saying like, found 6-month-old-ish kitten. If your cat is lost, please call. And I left my phone number and everything. And I waited a whole month. I had this cat and nobody came to try to claim him. I took him to the vet just to make sure that he was okay, and also to check for a microchip. No microchip. And so after a month of looking and waiting and just thinking like, you know, when's the owner gonna come claim him, and nobody did, I was like, well, I'm gonna keep him then, because I can't, you know, after having him for a month, I didn't want to take him to the shelter and like abandon him, you know, because by that time, I mean, to be fair, I get attached to things in like 40 seconds. So after having him for like a minute in my house, I was already convinced if nobody claimed him, I was going to keep him. But yeah, so I ended up keeping him. And I have him now, like 10 years later. So that's my story of how I got my first true cat on my own. 40 seconds, you too, Heather? Yeah, this is why Matt doesn't let me look at animals that need homes, because I will get attached to them before we even decide we're going to take it home. I just see them and I'm like, oh, it has to be mine. So that's how I got Mango. And my parents were actually out of town at the time. They were in Vegas at like a bike cycling convention thingy, because my parents are cyclists. And they still, I mean, I think they believe me on some level, but they always are like, she bought the cat and said she found it, you know? And so I can't, to this day, I like can't convince them that I actually found him. And my biggest argument to the fact that I found him is that he wasn't neutered when I found him. And I keep trying to tell them, I'm like, Mom, where can I buy a cat? Like, rescue a cat, really, because they know me, that I wouldn't go out and like buy a cat from a breeder or something like that. I would go to a shelter and go get a cat. What shelter, please tell me what shelter would adopt a cat out without having it neutered first? And furthermore, why, as like a, you know, broke, I don't know how old I was out of high school at the time, but like just barely, I didn't have a lot of money. Why would I go buy a cat where then I have to spend the money to get it neutered and all that kind of, like, I would have just gone and adopted a cat. Like, my second cat I got for like $50 because she was on sale at the shelter, because she was a 4-month-old kitten, and so she was getting to the point where she wasn't like a true kitten anymore, so they like put her on sale kind of thing. And so why would I not have done that if I truly like really wanted a cat and I wasn't gonna wait for you? Anyway, they still kind of don't believe me, but that's all right. I know what happened. My friends that were there know what happened. I only need 5 seconds and you fall in love, but I'm still good at letting go. You fostered hundreds of dogs and cats. See, more power to you, because I couldn't let him go. Couldn't do it. Don't I have one? I do. Oh wow, there's a whole piece right here that I can use. A whole piece! It's not the right shape, but it's the right curve to start. Your mom while working found a cat hiding from people under someone's truck because drunk people were throwing things at it and took it. And that's how your aunt got her cat, Sammy. People are so mean. So mean. People do that with, like, wildlife, too. They just think that they're there for entertainment for some reason. And it's like, wild animals are supposed to be wild. That's the point. And you don't need to harass them because they're probably just doing their own thing. And you just leave them alone. That's how they're meant to be. But people suck. They do. They suck. Okay. You haven't told them about the kitten yet? Who needs to tell them about the kitten? It's just a kitten. I'm a really bad enabler when it comes to animal things like that, so maybe don't listen to me. But also, if you need some validation, I'm here for you. I got you. Alright, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're starting the stream with rocks. Oh, your cat has trust issues. Cats are hard to change their ways. Once, like, even 100 times worse than, like, dogs or something like that. They're cats. And that's why some people just aren't cat people. I was talking to somebody last night that was like, I'm just not a cat person. Because they're just such jerks sometimes. And I was like, but that's why I love them. Because they are jerks sometimes. This is why you love this community. More rocks. Always more rocks. You can never have enough rocks. I like this little area. I don't know how I feel about this, though, to be honest, mixing these ones in. So we may... There's just too much of a contrast. I may just demote these ones back over to the graveyard. Because the orange... I'll save it for, like, a... didn't I place one more? I guess not. When you were 4, you found a deer in your backyard. That's pretty cool. I don't get deer. Since I found like 5 baby iguanas in your backyard, you've been begging your parents to let me keep one. My mom had a pet iguana. Why can't I? Pet iguanas? Iguanas are cool. But some of them, because I am a firm believer that animals are, like, individuals, right? And so some people say, like, they make broad statements like, iguanas are mean or something like that. And I definitely think that animals are individuals. So you can have, like, mean iguanas, friendly iguanas. You know, it just depends on the individual animal. But more often than not, if they're not, like... worked with and tame and stuff, iguanas can be mean, but they also can be really good pets. I've never owned one, but and they get really big. You have a neighborhood fox. Oh, your comment just reminded me. A pack of coyotes and a few towns over had a cougar sighting. That's pretty cool. In Texas, there are a couple populations of ocelots, which I think is really cool. I actually did a whole, like, research paper and report in college for my conservation biology class, where I reviewed their species success plan and kind of, you know, did a report on it, basically. I won't get all the way into it. But on the ocelots that live in Texas. And then there's a program, and I forget which zoo it's based out of. It might not be based out of a zoo. But they're putting together a plan, like a formal plan to help the ocelots in Texas, which I think is really cool. Ocelots are very cool. But I'm also just a cat person. Anyway, your comment reminded me, last night when we were driving home, we dropped off Matt's friend because we gave him a ride down to the tournament, and there were 2 coyotes in a neighborhood, like a total suburban neighborhood. I saw one run across, and then shortly after, another one kind of followed it. So we like stopped the car, and I rolled down the window, and I just watched them, you know, because going back to, we don't want to harass or anything like that. But we stayed in the car, and we just kind of watched them, and they just kind of, you know, pittered around this grassy area, pitter-pattered around, and they were pretty good size. They were both adult coyotes, but it's always cool. I mean, we have coyotes at work, so I see them every day when I go to work, but it's really cool to see them in the wild. I think. So they're really pretty, but it's just something, you know, like in a total urban environment, it's just strange to see something like that. But yeah, they were just roaming around like the coyotes that they are. Yeah, coyotes are bold. I see them in my neighborhood all the time, and I live in like a suburban area. You found a snapping turtle going to lay eggs. Snapping turtles are terrifying. Terrifying. Take your fingers off. I love ocelots. They're gorgeous. I don't support owning wild animals, but as a young child, your father owned one, so it was your first pet. No way. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't support owning wild animals as just like pets for no reason, you know? I do support, like, if you are like a wild animal or an animal care professional, and for some reason there was an animal that needed to be in captivity and you have the permits for it and like stuff like that, you know? As rescues, I support that. But there is totally a difference between a reputable rescue and like people that just want to own animals so they call themselves a rescue. You know, I firmly believe that if you're a rescue, then you are not breeding your animals. The only exception would be zoological facilities, because they do take in animals that obviously need rescue and stuff like that, but they breed for conservation, which means, you know, then to re-release or to move to other zoos to keep the genetic diversity going for that species and whatnot. But they're not going to breed things like, they're responsible with it, right? They're looking at genetics and not just breeding for pretty colors or because they can and they want babies, you know, stuff like that. So the savannah cats are cool. They can be kind of jerks too, but they're really cool animals and they're huge. Oh, hello. I don't want that. I hit the Windows button on accident. Some pets are fine. I think a lot of reptiles, like especially the smaller ones, are okay, you know. As long, again, you can do there's a lot of things that like you can do responsibly. And as long as it's a responsible thing, then I think it's totally fine. But there are a lot of people that do it irresponsibly. You know, people that collect, like reptiles, because I know that's a pretty big hobby as well. And then they just have them in like stacks of tubs and whatnot. It's like, I really don't think, you know, and I don't think that reptiles necessarily, you know, they're not as intuitive and stuff like that as mammals are, but they still deserve like some level of enrichment and quality of life and stuff like that. So yeah, this could be a whole long conversation, but I feel like we're all mostly on the same page. Yeah, it's not a life for those animals. It makes me sad. Yeah. I know, because, you know, you could argue that, like, a good life for them is food, shelter, and water, because that's all they're gonna need, but I do think that, like, you know, especially, animals that, navigate their environment with scent a lot, you know, offering them different smells to explore and investigate and stuff like that. Excuse me, I'm still congested. So like, for example, my little snaky downstairs, Cora, she has a pretty good sized tank, and I put leaves and stuff in there, but I'll frequently like move her stuff around so that when she comes out at night, she has more to investigate, so it's not the exact same tank every time. I actually have taken like some of my cat hair or dog's hair, like when they're just shedding, you know, you pet them and whatnot, and kind of put it in like a corner so it's something for her to like smell, you know, even though that would probably be her predator, but you know, it's something to investigate and smell so that it's different. I have a lot of animals, Hippo King. I have a California desert tortoise. His name is Theo. I have a ball python. Her name is Cora. Then I have 3 dogs and 2 cats. So Kiwi and Mango are my cats' names. And Nalu, Kiko, and Koa are my dogs' names. Excuse me. And then I have a cockatiel named Tortellini. He has such a funny name. Put that there. My favorite animal is a giant guinea pig capybara. Capybaras are cute. Or like you can get the Kui guinea pigs, the ones that are like big guinea pigs as pets. Those ones are pretty cool. Although they're a little harder to tame because they're not as friendly to people. They're a little bit more scared. Yeah, and see, I don't even like that places like PetSmart and Petco sell animals, because there are so, like, they could totally sell rescue animals as well, because there's so many people that get those animals for a child's pet, and then like 6 months later or a year later, my child lost interest, it doesn't want it anymore, we need to give it back, you know? So there's always animals looking for homes. Your favorite animal is a pygmy hippo? We have a pygmy hippo at work. Her name is Hannah. She's a funny pygmy hippo. You have 3 Chinese cave geckos? That sounds pretty cool. I don't actually know what they look like off the top of my head. Thank you, Veronica. Your local PetSmart actually sells rescued cats from shelters. Oh, there you go. That's awesome. I would, honestly, if I won the lottery, hello, cell phone. If I won the lottery, I would 100% open my own rescue/rehabilitation place. That would be a dream of mine. I would probably go out and buy like northern San Diego County. There's some places with like big plots of land and stuff that are expensive because it's San Diego County, but I won the lottery, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. And then buy that land and create that. I'm going to add the railing to this path. Okay, I guess our first pull. I need to, and I'm going to. I'll tell you about this in just a second. Pull time. Pull time. I want to add railing to this path, which would be my first question. There we go. So if we should add railing, so let me add the railing over here, or if we should have this path change when it hits the floor, you know, like, so this is all the raised path, and we can have like the ground path be something different. And I feel like this railing matches up pretty well. Isn't there, that one doesn't. Oh, that one, I mean, it does match because it's the same color. So let's do this. Let's first vote for railing or custom railing. Okay, so we're just talking about if we're going to use path railing or custom railing first. That's going to be our first, because if you guys vote for custom railing, then we can vote on path afterwards. So type of railing. Are you ready, Tumbly? Are you going to pick the right one? Custom railing or default. That's not how you spell default. think that's how you spell default. God, I'm so tired, and I'm a terrible speller anyway. The one that starts with a D is default. So go ahead and vote on that. And we'll see. So default railing, meaning we're going to use one of the path railings. I got it right. Thank you, Heather. Let you lose? No, positive hopes. Positive. Positive. Or we can do a custom one. You haven't won yet. I haven't ended the poll. Anything could happen at this point. You voted default, probably gonna lose. You're great at losing? It's interesting that there are so many different color variations of different reptiles. Like the Burmese python, for example. Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, how people found all those different variations and they found how to breed for them and stuff like that. It's crazy. Here I was trying to make life easier for you. No, this chat likes chaos, Primal. Let's see. Does that mean that custom... Hey! I just found a way to... Remember how I told you, like, it doesn't let me see all of the options and where they're at? I just found a way to let it do that. Cool. All right. Ending the poll. Yeah, default did not win. Okay, you guys. Okay, I hear ya loud and clear. Now, separate vote. So, railing on ground path. No. Railing on ground path. Now, should we do a different kind of path to keep it going? Or should we just continue the same path? So I'm going to say this one, or... I never used this one, but we'll include it. Why the heck not? There's too many options because I can only do 4. So here we go. So this is ground path. So we're only doing, good Lord. We're only doing the path that's on the ground right here, not the elevated one to the left. So, we'll do logs. We're going left to right on the screen. Logs. I think it's bark, or it might be mulch, but I'm going to call it bark. Brick or stone would be the exact same as the elevated. So this is stone right here. So we have logs, bark, brick, stone. Logs, bark, brick, stone. Logs, bark, brick, stone. We could make a song. We are building for the Chevalsky's Wild Horse. Sorry, Tumbly, I know you came in just a little bit late. Chevalsky's Wild Horse. You remember going to a natural reserve here in Puerto Rico and there was a boa constrictor just slithering in front of us. Just terrifying. Bye, Alexandros. Thanks for stopping by. Logs, bark, brick, stone. Logs, bark, brick, stone. Hey, let me see it again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I have to click on it. Okay, there we go. Logs, bark, brick, stone. Wow. It was a fairly chill snake. It just froze in place. We took some pics and continued our walk. Yeah, because a lot of animals are just more afraid of you than you are of them. All right, we all got them in? We all good to go? I have never been to Costa Rica, but I would love to go. All right, we're ending the poll. What did you choose? All right. Keeping it the same. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I have to build a freaking custom railing. I don't know what to build. What's my favorite dinosaur? I don't know. I don't know. My favorite prehistoric animal is probably the Smilodon, just because I'm such a cat person, right? You won that one! Woohoo! Do a split rail fence. What's a split rail fence? Split rail fence. Look up inspiration for the railing. I think we might. Split rail fence. I don't know what that is. If I Google that, will it come up? Split rail fence. Oh, it does come up. Like that? Is that what you're talking about? But anyway, that's not a dinosaur. I know the Smilodon is not a dinosaur, so I don't know what my favorite dinosaur would be. Should we do, where are the Przewalski's wild horses from? I don't remember. Why can't I remember? All the way down to P for Przewalski's wild horse. Asia, that's right. Okay, well I don't really want to do an Asia fence. Dimetrodon is not a dinosaur. Yeah, that's true. Velociraptors, that's a good choice. That's like a classic. I was gonna say, is it like too boring to say T-Rex? I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the dinosaurs in Jurassic World because Jurassic World Evolution, because that's, I mean, honestly, those are the dinosaurs I'm most familiar with. Look up a yurt for inspiration. A yurt. Yurt? I like that was a question. Yurt? It's kind of cool. Let's look zoo fencing. Zoo fencing. Not enclosure fencing. Oh, I've made something like this before. That would totally work. Maybe a typical horse fence. So that's what I thought at first, but if you guys remember or look at it, this fence doesn't have to keep in the horses. It only has to keep out the guests because we have our moat here, right? So we only have to keep out. In fact, actually, I might smooth this out a little bit more and make it a little bit more of a gradient. But yeah, we're looking for like a guest-facing fence right now. I like this. This is simple, and we can make it out of the African log pieces. What about this? If it's keeping out guests, go electrified. For theming wise, yeah, that's true. So it can be a fence with bigger gaps, yeah. Oh, look, lions. They're so cute. Getting fed with a stick. Why the keeper doesn't lose its hands. Wait, where did that fence go? Go back. I clicked on the lions and lost it. We're building for the Przewalski's wild horse. I think I like this one, you guys. We can even do that fence with like a little extra on top too. Let's do something like that. What comes up if you type in tropical fence? I don't know. Let's see. Tropical fence. Lots of bamboo is the answer to that question. That one's kind of cool. Maybe. Not actually right now we're not going to build a stable. We're trying to figure out a fence. Let's build together. Who is this? It's a pretty thumbnail. I don't know who that is though. I like the other one. Cheap and easy scenery that is a must in every zoo. Yes. Because bamboo grows like crazy. This is a good fence, like a good backdrop fence. There we go. Tropical fence. Just the words. It's not helpful, Google. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's put this over here. Let's build. Okay, these are the African log pieces I'm talking about. They came with the Africa pack. Ooh. We could. That's a good stick. Come here. Doesn't need to be that tall, but we could. Okay, so I'm gonna lay out some options. I'm gonna lay out some options and let you guys pick. So we are talking about the uprights of the fence. We could go this kind of situation and make it look all different. Bring this down and over like that. This one might be a little hard because it's got that like extra piece that sticks up, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Okay, something like that, or it reminded me of Shrek. That's a nice boulder. I watched I Am Legend 2 nights ago or something like that, and there's a part in there where Will Smith is quoting, he's watching Shrek and he's like line for line saying what am I doing, so that's what popped into my mind. Okay, I didn't go too far. They're further down in the menu than I thought they were. That's a nice boulder. That's the main line you quote. Well, it's going to be the main line I quote now. Trying to decide if you're going to drive to Sonic. Oh, I love Sonic. I love Sonic so much. But one of them, the only one that is near me, is far away. It's like 30 minutes away. Which sucks. Bye, Ocean Raccoon. Thanks for hanging out. Or we could do these, as this took me forever to freaking find this piece, as the uprights. Like a so. This one is one that looks more like the picture. It looks more like the picture. So we could do that, and we could recolor this one to match a little bit better. So we could do something like this and this with this would have another one on the bottom, and then it would have chain link in the middle. No, not Africa fence. Get out of here. This one. Nope, 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 nope. You're not doing what I want you to do. Planet Zoo. What am I doing? Flatten. This is the wrong axis. Flatten. Spin. There we go. And now spin this way. There we go. I know how to build. Kind of. This way. And voila! Did it! Okay, so we have kind of like two options. We're gonna do, what is this? This is painted wood, and this is stick, because I called it a stick, so we're gonna call it a stick. So which fence? We're gonna go painted log. Is that what it was? I think. We're gonna call it painted log. Or stick. Go. So this is stick, branch, stick. This is painted log. Painted log, stick. Painted log, stick. I drink 40 ounces a day, and I'm in the bathroom constantly. I can't imagine a gallon. You're not gonna lose, Tumbly. Positive thinking. I should drink more water as I sit here with my coffee. Oh, so what I was gonna tell you guys about, which I forgot, I am in the process, or I'm going to be in the process, like today, starting today basically, of rearranging my office. So, for those of you that don't know, here, let's do a little tour while we're voting. This behind me is the door. This is how you get into this room. And then turn over here is that right there is a bed. So that's like the guest bed. And that's, then if you keep going, then that's a wall. So it's a square room, right? There's nothing much in there. But this bed, that bed right there, is going bye-bye. Because it's the guest bed. It's not a bed that we use, and Matt's parents are really the only ones that come and, good Lord, get back to where you need to be, camera. The only ones that really use it. So I'm getting rid of it. Hopefully gonna sell it, if not donate it. And then I will have this whole room as my office. And so I will probably be moving my desk situation over there, so it's away from the window. And because these curtains, actually, this is a mirrored closet. So this whole wall where you see gray is one giant mirror, which is why I have the curtains hung. So it's not distracting on stream. And that way that side of my room could be messy and you can't see it. Truly, that's why those curtains are there. But I'm going to get rid of the bed. I'm going to move this over here. And then I'm going to make this area into kind of like a workout, like home gym space. And then over there, we'll have a little bit more room. I'll be able to hook up an air conditioning unit to this window so that it doesn't get quite so hot in here. And then I'm going to adjust the placement of my PC, because right now my PC is right there and it blows all of its hot air onto my legs. So when I'm at my desk, it's specifically so much hotter because the hot air from my computer is blowing onto my legs and it's awful. So I'm really excited to get to like move all this around and whatnot and get a new office space going. Did you guys vote? End the poll. Wow, you guys surprised me. Yeah, so it's not gonna be like a, you know, like I'm not gonna have a ton of workout equipment and stuff like that, but I'll bring my yoga mat up here, my foam rollers. I'll probably want to get just a small set of free weights. And then I'm looking into possibly getting a treadmill, but I don't know if I actually will, because running outside is just, I mean, running outside is free. And it's also just being outside is good and stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure what my exact plans are yet. I am going to raise this up just a bit because in the picture it's off the floor. In that first picture we looked at, it was a square beam on the bottom, and it actually looked more like, more like this. So yeah, that's my plans for the office. I'm very excited about them because I am very excited to make this space work a little bit better for the channel. Because my office space is something that obviously like when I started YouTube, it was like, okay, where are we going to put everything? Actually, don't do that. I'm going to do this instead. And so I've kind of just made it work for the last, like 2 years, and it's been great. but I'm ready to kind of, like, I'm in a mode right now where if I haven't used it in a year, get rid of it. It doesn't need to be in my house. I don't need to be a hoarder, that kind of thing. So yeah, so we're actually having a garage sale, in a few days or so to get rid of some of this stuff that I don't need anymore. And then anything that doesn't sell at the garage sale is not coming back into the house. It's going straight to, Goodwill or wherever else we're gonna take the stuff to donate. Running is your least favorite type of exercise? Honestly, it's like the type of exercise that I know the best because I ran track and cross country in high school. So it's like the only type of exercise that I like know what to do. But yeah. But yeah, so I went through and I had 2 sets of like plates and stuff, right? Because when my mom works at Costco, and so what she does, long story short, she has been able to get like free or very inexpensive stuff, and which is awesome. And so she's given me some of that stuff, but some of that includes, like, I had 2 sets of plates, 2 like sets of 10 plates, and it's only Matt and I. So why we need like 20 something plates? We don't. So I'm getting rid of one of the sets and going from there, kind of thing. I guess this will meet up. We should do like this so that it's the whole thing. So yeah, just getting rid of stuff like that it's like we will never entertain for 20 people at once, you know, at our house. Because sorry, I don't think our house could fit 20 people. Way too many people. Yeah, cross country was honestly, it was only to stay in shape in the off season for track, because when I ran track, I was a long distance sprinter. So I specifically ran the 400 and the 4x4. And then I did do the 300 hurdles for a while, just 'cause I'm tall. So they were like, you're tall, you can jump things. But in the off season of track, I ran cross country just to stay in shape for the next track season. So I don't like long distance running that much. But that's why I did that. All right. So I think this is our fence, although I do want to make this slightly lighter. Like that. And then these 2. Like that. I think that looks good. I don't even know 20 people. I don't even like 20 people. That would say I know 20 people, but I don't like 20 people enough to invite them over to my house. Hey, Jaunty, how's it going? Yeah, I don't like 20 people enough to have 20 people over at my house all at once. I am very much so, like an introverted, you know, I have like 5 or 6 like friends that will hang out together, but really that's it. And like my social meter fills up pretty freaking fast. You know, I mentioned we were out last night at a cornhole event for Matt, and so there was probably like 30, 40 people there, and was talking to a few of them that are, you know, Matt's friends and, you know, my friends by extension kind of thing. But we were there for probably, you know, 5 hours or so, and I'm good for another like 3 weeks. I don't need to do anything like social, hanging out, you know, stuff like that for a while. My social meter's kind of filled up after that. So, but anyway, that's why I'm getting rid of all those plates, because I don't need them. Don't need them at all. But other little stuff, like, you know, Matt is very much a type of person that he's like, what if we need that in like 5 years? And I'm like, great, in 5 years we can buy another one. Or, you know, because it just, storing it is making it feel cluttered and overwhelmed, and I don't need it in the house right now. So just cleaning everything out, and then just more space, you know, more room for activities would be fantastic in this little space. So I'm excited to make it a little bit better for our needs. For those of you that didn't see, Mr. Jaunty has been in Planet Zoo. I don't know what he's been up to, but he said he built for 4 hours, so that's pretty exciting. And I can't wait to see what he's built. It's one of those things, like Planet Zoo definitely is so difficult to play when the inspiration's just not there. Like, to force it just sucks. It just gets frustrating, because then you just stare at the screen and nothing really happens, and you're never happy with what you build when you're sitting there forcing it, so then you just get frustrated. Went to a safari park last week, and it filled me with inspiration. That's the most inspiring thing I think that you can do, more so than just like searching the internet and stuff like that, is actually going. Like when I went to Florida and we went to 2 different zoos and Animal Kingdom as one of the parks when we went to Disney World, I came back and was like, I'm gonna build everything. I'm gonna build so much. And then, you know, I ended up like not having time to really build everything that I wanted to build, but I felt so inspired. And the whole time I was there, I was like, oh, I could build that, and I could build that, and you know. And I still have all that footage from the vlogs that I took, or the footage that I filmed that need to be turned into vlogs, from both Animal Kingdom and Zoo Tampa, which is the shirt I'm wearing today. It's the shirt I got when we went there. But I have all the footage that I actually just transferred from my laptop to my computer that I use now so that I can edit it and put it together. I just have not yet, but I need to. It's not something I can force. I've played a ton lately, but I can tell you're fizzing out again. Yeah, and so I mean, I would say, especially since you're not making it for YouTube or, you know, to create videos or anything like that, you're just playing to have fun. It should be fun. Don't do it if it's not fun. Yeah, blueprint shopping is good. I honestly forget all the time that the workshop exists. And so I tend to not really use blueprints all that much, mostly because I just like building things myself. But the blueprint that I'm obsessed with that we used last time were those signs. So like stuff that like Remnant and Lowbrie and Leader and those kinds of people make with the stupid font pieces that I don't know how they have the time or the patience to sit there and frickin' move individual tiny little pieces so that like a few pixels of the piece is showing, you know, to shape them into certain things. I will never be that type of builder because that burns me out faster than anything else in the game. So those signs that I found on the workshop from Lowbrie, I think that's how you say his name, their name, I'm not sure, he or her, are great because then I don't have to do that. But for things like we just created this little fence and stuff like that, I like creating that kind of stuff myself. You just got off? What'd you build, Nicole? What were you working on? Can never do those signs. All of them are amazing. I know the things that you can do, honestly, and now because we have so many expansion packs and game packs or whatever you call them, you know, whatever Planet Zoo calls them, we have so much DLC that there's so many pieces in the game now that you can build basically anything you want. It just comes down to the patience and time that you have. Yeah, totally give myself a pass. Because we're going to use them in this build too, because we need signs. Okay, there you guys go. There's your custom fence. Are we happy with that? You better be happy with that, because I'm not doing it again. I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. So what I wanted to do was to smooth this out. I know somebody said we should do like a dry moat, but I'm okay having it be like just not like a true moat, right? We're gonna allow the horses to maybe get down in here, although they probably, I mean, in game they probably will, but if this was an actual habitat, they probably wouldn't spend a whole lot of time down here just because we're gonna put everything else up in the top of their habitat. But I like the idea of this being a little bit smoother and doing some kind of mud walls like that were in the reference picture that we were looking at. I like that idea. You started a new franchise project last week, currently working on 3 habitats at once. You sound like me. Every time I get a new idea and it doesn't fit within a project that I'm working on, I'm like, let's start a new zoo. And then all of a sudden I have like 8 zoos happening at once. Then I really get burnt out. But if we take this and start to use it as something like, hold on, I still have the fence reference picture up. There we go. You know, we're gonna create it from scratch because it's gonna be a little bit different than the sides like that. So we're gonna go get the fake tree, which nobody uses as a fake tree. They use it as mud. It's not in this menu. It's in this menu, this one right here, and make our own little wall because I don't want to put the rocks on top of it. I want to keep it as just like a little mud, like this is the top, I think, and we might be able to move the terrain so that it looks like there's dirt kind of like it's sunken into the dirt a little bit. I'm gonna raise it up while we build it, but then we can recolor it and do all that kind of fun stuff with it. But yeah, this is I don't think I've really ever seen anybody use this piece as a tree. I might be wrong, but like the minute it came out, somebody flipped it upside down and was like, wow, it looks like a mud wall. And then from then on out, this is just the mud wall piece. What helps me stay inspired to build? Visiting zoos, but I know that's not necessarily realistic for everybody, especially with COVID being on and off, you know, bad and then good and then bad again. And then now it's, at least where I'm at, it's kind of getting bad again. The company I work for sends out an email every time somebody tests positive, and I'm not joking. I probably get an email every single day with 2, 3. Yesterday I got an email saying 5 staff members were out with COVID. Now it's a fairly big company, so it's not like that's not all the employees they have. They have hundreds of employees, but point being is that it's still around. So that's not necessarily realistic or doable for everybody. So honestly, I do a lot of watching. There is a channel. Is it just called Zoo Tours? It might be. But basically, basically there's a guy on YouTube that he goes to zoos and films it, and then he puts it on YouTube so that I can watch it without actually having to go to the zoo, and that is really inspiring for me. We were close to the color. Let's make this a little bit more orange, like so, I think. There we go. Yeah, Zoo Tours, I think it's called, right? He does a really good job. Sometimes it's a little cheesy, but I like that he gives like information on when the zoo was built and changes that the zoo has done and stuff like that. So I think he does a really good job. And then Pinterest is a huge one. I search on Pinterest all the time. Like if I'm just kind of spacing out and looking and like sitting on the couch or before I go to bed or something like that. There we go. I like that. Can't visit a bunch of zoos often. There's only one near you. I know I'm pretty lucky in the sense that I live right by both the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Excuse me. So I'm fairly lucky in that sense that I obviously, like, at my disposal have some pretty fantastic zoos to go visit and whatnot. But when I can, like when we go on vacation and stuff, so for example, my recent vacation in May to Florida, I made a point to visit a couple different zoos that were within driving distance and able for us to go visit. But I'm also just, you know, I'm a zoo nerd because I work in the animal welfare industry and that's what I'm passionate about and stuff like that. So I make a point to go see those things, just like, you know, theme park nerds are theme park nerds. So wherever they go, they're going to try to go to a theme park or make vacations to go specifically to theme parks. And they just enjoy looking at the different theme park designs and coaster designs and stuff like that. And so zoos is just one of those things for me. Zoo tours is great. You watch them on mute though. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sometimes he can get a little cheesy. They actually show the zoo and long pans of the habitat. Yeah, so that is one thing that I like about them too, that they don't just show off the animals on what they're doing, but they show like when they walk from habitat to habitat. And that's where I said, Amber, if you're still around, when you go to the zoo, what zoo did you say you were going to? You said you were going to a couple of them, and I was like, take pictures of like restrooms and like rest stations and fences and like the stuff that's in between the habitats, because I feel like that's what I can't Google, because nobody takes pictures of that stuff because it's not exciting, and only people that are, you know, weird and are gonna build it in a video game actually want to see that stuff. But that's the stuff that's really helpful because that's the stuff that that exists in zoos, right? And if you're trying to make a realistic zoo, it's not just going to be a habitat. There's going to be stuff in the middle, and layout matters and whatnot. So do that, and then we will raise the terrain up to this so that we have some dirt coming over the top of it. And I know in the reference picture, it kind of like dips down behind, but these mud pieces are a little bit too thick to make them like true kind of planters like this. So they're just going to be like in our habitat, they're just going to be kind of like retaining walls, I think, which works. Yeah, I definitely need more than habitats. Oh, that was a little too strong. Come back. Come back. But yeah, so that's what, like, I laughed because when I went to, what park were we in? We were in Magic Kingdom when we went to Florida, and halfway through the day I was like, I should take pictures of all these fences, right? Because when you go from Fantasyland to Frontierland to, you know, Tomorrowland, they all have different very themed fences, and fence inspiration is important when you're building in like Planet Coaster or Zoo or whatever it was. So that was like a really well performing tweet, was a bunch of pictures of fences. And I was like, this is such a silly thing. Like it's so simple, but people love it because that's the kind of stuff that you don't really see. Nobody sits there and takes pictures of the random stuff. Like I think it was Sylv did a video on lamp posts, right? Because they're all themed and different in the different lands and stuff like that. And stuff like that is really important. I think I want to kind of do another one right here. That's kind of, maybe this one will be smaller, so that way there's a little bit of variation. They're not all the same piece. And we can kind of do this, and then it can be a little area that they walk through. Fences are the hardest to master. I don't feel like for me, I don't feel like they're necessarily the hardest thing to build. The scale is just difficult in Planet Zoo and Coaster because everything is so geared towards being huge that when you try to build something like a fence, especially like a viewable fence, right? So you want it to come up to what would be the people's hips or waist or a little bit higher, you know, then when you get into that small scale building, it gets a little difficult because the pieces are geared towards making something massive. but that's not always what you want. Okay, cool. So that is the framework. I'm gonna cross my legs again because my computer is cooking my thighs, or those aren't my thighs, my calves. What the heck is below your knee called? I forgot for a second. Let's see what foliage we have in our graveyard. I feel like this stuff, thank you Tumbly for last time, I feel like this stuff is actually gonna fit pretty well. Can I have all of it, please? Thanks. In our habitat. So we'll move this over. And we'll do a vote here in just a second, because we're going to pick what kind of habitat. That way you guys have a chance to choose chaos if you want to. I feel like all this doesn't really fit because we're doing more desert-y themed for these guys. Hey, Ring. No worries. Hope you're doing well. The Desert Plant Gang. That's right. Realistic windows are difficult. Honestly, for things like doors and windows, I don't even mess with it. I just use the in-game ones because they look good enough. We're building for the Chevalsky's Wild Horse is what we're doing. So let's do our usual thing here. What type of foliage? Plants, because I don't want to have to spell foliage. Desert. Tropical. We'll throw Arctic in there just so that those of you that hate me can have your chance. Or grassland. Go ahead. Vote away. Woohoo, you got your Sonic drink. What's your Sonic drink that you like, Brittany? Or your favorite one? I hate blue doors, Heather. We're never building anything with a blue anything again. I'm not doing it. And if we do, it'll be like royal blue, like the most bluest blue you could, like no discussion. And then green, we're only building in like forest green. That way there is no debate. Had to get that one in at least. I know, you guys won't ever let me forget it. We're never gonna go look at it again. It's just gonna be the forgotten build over on the other side. Grape slushies, but you can't have them right now. Looks pretty orange to me. You guys are ridiculous. Sonic, for a while there, I was like on a kick. I lived next to Sonic a few years ago. And I would get, because they'll put like any flavor. And this was before Dr. Pepper had like that cream soda that you could get at the store. I would get a vanilla Dr. Pepper as like my drink to any sort of food that I got, but then I loved their like cookie dough milkshake was my favorite. So bad for you. And I would get like onion rings and the cookie dough milkshake and like have like 4,000 calories in one meal, which was terrible. I don't recommend it. But I love Sonic. I love Sonic a lot. You've had 2 times in your life. It's pretty good. And honestly, it's like, it's just kind of gimmicky, right? Which is how I feel that like people love it so much because they bring out your food on roller skates if you don't go through the drive-thru and stuff. So part of it, I think, is just the experience, because the actual food, like it's fast food. There's hot dogs and burgers, and McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's. They all make a burger. Like they all do it. You know, there's other places to get real ice cream milkshakes, but Sonic whatever has just done it right in a sense where people love it. When I hit 50,000 subscribers, you want me to get a blue door tattoo? Oh, that's a level of commitment I don't think I can match. Did you guys all vote? I'm gonna end the poll, so you better have voted. What did you pick? Oh, that's actually different than I thought you guys were gonna vote for. So grassland. Let's see. Biome. Grassland. There's not a lot of stuff in grassland, I don't think. But these plants that we have are, so that's good. I want to pick, let's pick like our kind of focal point tree to start, because here, I'll put it in front of us again. This kind of thing right here, I want to try to pick, and then these, obviously these like dead logs and stuff like that are easy to kind of place because we have all those dead log pieces. but I want to kind of decide on what, like, maybe we'll put 2, maybe we'll put like 1 here and 1 here is kind of like the tall foliage, and then the rest of it will be very low foliage. I know, what happened to desert? That was the one that was going to make kind of the most sense, but that's all right. You guys want grassland, let's pick it. I really like these cork trees. They came with the Europe pack, and I just think I like that their trunk is kind of curvy. And I like the leaves. So we'll have that as an option. And I feel like it gives a good amount of shade too, so that we might not necessarily have to put like man-made shade. I love these too, but I only love using them as like ferns on the ground. So I'm gonna put that over there because I probably want to use that. We have to use, whoops, we have to use the drin grass because that's one of the best pieces in the game. And that's what we used all over the cheetah habitat too. I'll just pull out 1 of each. And then... I know, right, Tumbly? You guys are going to make me build Arctic for a non-Arctic animal at one point. We have all these stupid Arctic rocks. I'm sorry, not stupid. We have all these Arctic rocks that somebody so gratefully made me place. Oh, or we could do this tree as not a bush. This is like one of my favorite trees to use as a bush, but we could use it as an actual tree. And we could totally do 2 different trees as well, something like that. Although, I know in the picture, the tree is more like just a tall bush, but I kind of like the idea of using something that has like a prominent trunk, because I feel like they're horses, right? So they would be kind of eating and picking at stuff, and so I feel like they would have trimmed any sort of plant, and that the foliage would really be up at the top. I love the Rainforest Cafe Primal. There used to be one in Anaheim in downtown Disney, and they deleted it, or they got rid of it and made it into a Star Wars shopping store, which I think is stupid because they're Star Wars shopping all over Disneyland anyway. But nobody asked me, so I didn't give my opinion on that. But I love the Rainforest Cafe. So when we went to Disney World and Magic Kingdom, that's where we ate. We could do this one. I'm not necessarily a massive fan of how blue-ish the foliage is on it, but I'll put it as an option. Could do a sausage tree. Have you ever seen a recent video that's gone a bit viral with the guys who visited every rainforest cafe? No, I haven't. I will have to look it up. You know, when I was in Florida, we went to, I think it was just called T-Rex, but it was basically the equivalent of the Rainforest Cafe, but dinosaurs. Like, you walked in and the whole thing was like a prehistoric thing, and there was like I think it was like a lightning storm, or they had like a oh, it was meteors. Meteors every so often would like crash into the restaurant and stuff. So that was pretty cool, because it was, like I said, it was basically Rainforest Cafe. And honestly, Rainforest Cafe is like, it's just food, right? There's nothing like uber special about the food. It's kind of what I was talking about with Sonic. It's just the experience. It's a little too African-y, I think. Yeah, please do. I would love to check it out. So one guy slowly loses the will to live. I mean, I feel like that's fair if you're going to all of them. That's too funny. Okay, I think those trees are what I'm going to let you guys decide between. Oh, or maybe this one, the Mapingo tree. I forgot about that. This is one of my new favorite trees too. Okay, so we have, what do we have? Cork tree, Mapingo tree, olive tree, marula tree. So hold on, let me type those out. Which tree? If I could spell which tree. So what did I say? Cork tree, Mapingo tree, olive tree. We're going left to right as you read a book. Marula tree. There you go. Go for it. Go for it. We have, whoa, hello. cork tree, mapingo tree, olive tree, marula tree. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left to right, like you read a book. Where do you go to see that you need that in your life? What? What did I just say? What was I talking about? No, you're not going to lose again. It's okay. You need positive thinking. The cam froze. Of course it did. Of course it did. Well, that's fine. We're taking a pause to vote anyway, so let me fix it. It's hard to choose. I mean, we could do 2 different ones, which is what I'm kind of leaning towards just so it's going to look a little nicer. There we go. Am I moving again? Woohoo. It actually didn't freeze on too unflattering of a face this time, which is great. Thank you, Facecam. What if losing the polls is your positivity? I mean, if that's what you're going for, then sure. No, there's not a lot of trees in normal Przewalski's wild horses, which is why I said when we started and we were going to build like a hoofstock species habitat, many of them are just open dirt enclosures because there's not a lot to them. They've got some toys here and there and whatnot, but they really don't have like complicated habitats because their natural history doesn't call for that. They don't need it. They don't need anything to climb. They really don't need anything to swim in. They don't need pretty things, especially if you're feeding them. They don't really need things to graze on because you're going to be offering them the food to graze on anyway. So to be quite honest, we could make a square dirt box and they would be totally happy. But that's not what we're about. We're about making pretty things. So we're going to try to make it pretty. Did you guys vote? Let me click on it and see where you guys are at. Oh, wow. You guys like the mapingo tree. And then the olive tree next. Wow, that surprises me. I wouldn't have thought that. The marula tree is my favorite, and you guys hate it. Yeah, the vote was for trees, Heather. Want them to have grass and not dirt. The problem is grass is so expensive to upkeep for a zoo because it takes so much water. So you guys voted for the mapingo tree. So I'll get rid of these 2. I might actually do the mapingo tree and the marula tree just so that it's different and it's not the exact same thing. But grass is expensive as a ground cover because it takes so much water. And when you're thinking about a zoo or some other animal facility, the preference would be to put those funds into their diet or into their enrichment or into the labor it takes to pay the people to take care of the animal rather than into the water that it would take to keep grass. So it's just so much easier, especially when they're like trampsing on it all the time and squishing it down, and the horses are gonna kill it, you know, just by being horses. So maybe I lied. Maybe I won't use this tree. Maybe maybe what was the other one? The no, not that one. What was it called? I've already forgotten. The cork tree. Where'd it go? This one. Just because it has a greener, we'll use this one as a bush. I told you this marula tree is my favorite tree to use as a bush. So we can lower that down and maybe move it slightly. We'll leave it, and if I end up hating it, we can always delete it. Yeah, lawns are the #1 watered plant. I've seen people do, instead of grass, they've done clover, like 4-leaf clover lawns, which I guess take less water to upkeep. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't have a yard with grass, so I don't have to upkeep anything, but just in terms of animal care and stuff like that, like olive Yeah, all of the enclosures at work are dirt and rocks. And people have suggested to do small patches of grass and stuff because animals like grass. Like, it's not just a complete waste of resources. Like, the animals do like grass to a certain extent, to roll in it, to munch on it, you know, stuff like that. But it's just one of those things where, like, the cost kind of outweighs the benefit a little bit because it's so expensive. Unless you're in a climate where grass just, like, if it rains all the time, then it's easy to keep grass. But where I'm at in San Diego, it does not rain all the time, so it's expensive. Hey, Shells Bells. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you can make it. We're streaming a little bit later than we normally do today, so I'm glad that worked out for ya. Your grass is kindling right now? Yeah, behind my house, we have like a small outdoor patio, but out the back gate of my house is like a really open community kind of grassland. And for some reason, I think it's the city, the city that's responsible for upkeeping it has not been watering it. So it is completely dead now. Like, you go out there and it's crunchy. And I don't know why. I don't know why they let it die. But my dogs don't care. My dogs run around and play and whatnot. Like, it's no big deal, so. Hey, Puggle Studios and Alice. Welcome. Wow, it's already 1 o'clock? What time did I start? 11:30? 12:30? Wow, I've almost been streaming for 2 hours. This has gone by pretty fast. But we're putting together a habitat really quickly. You know what I might do? Did I do a group of grass over here? Or did I do these as individual singles? I might just take this little piece. Oh, not with that tree. There we go. And duplicate this so I don't have to place individual thingies, because we're going to want some little rocks all over the place anyway. And we'll do some paste lines in here for them as well. We'll place a few of these with rocks kind of around the side with the grass growing, and then we'll do some just grass so that we don't place rocks all over the place. Oh, you've been here the whole time? Well, you just said hi, so I thought you entered for the first time. But then, thanks for being here anyway. Hope you're enjoying. It's 9:15 for you. Where the heck are you? That's 8 hours ahead, so somewhere in Europe? I think, right? I think the UK is 8 hours ahead of me. Really bad with time changes and differences and stuff like that, so. England. There you go. See? Got it right, I think. My geography is also really bad, so knowing where things are over there is not my strong suit. UK or Portugal. Yeah, somewhere over there. Somewhere across the big ocean. I'm pretty good at the United States time zones and stuff, knowing where that is, but anywhere out of the United States, awful. In Pittsburgh, it's 4:15. Ooh, you're going to Thailand next year? That's exciting. I would love to go to Thailand. I have not done nearly as much international travel as I would love to do. Honestly, the only other country that I've been to is Mexico, and that's because it's right next door. San Diego is like 2 hours from the border, so it's really not that difficult to get down there. Hey, 16 months. That's a long time, Shells Bells. Thank you. And I never added a menu item for because you guys get one of those member specific chats like once a month or something like that, right? Or is it once a stream? If it's once a stream, it might be a little dangerous for me to add a menu item for that. That might cause some chaos, but if it's once a month, I feel safe doing it. I really don't want to add a whole lot more. Let's change and let's build fence. Let's build a fence. Your D&D game has players from 5 different time zones. Yeah, like Jonty said, people are all over the place, which is why, like, when we get to play on Sundays, it has to be such, like, a specific time, because I don't get home from work until a certain time, but then another player has to, like, go to sleep at a certain time, and so we have, like, this perfect overlap of 2 hours where everybody can jump on, and it's a reasonable hour for them. When we get to play, because I don't think we've played in a month, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And we're not playing this Sunday, and we're not playing next Sunday, so it'll be a while. The summer has been a bit difficult getting everybody together. Let me bring up, did I lose my reference picture? Sorry. There we go. Yeah, let's work on, I'd say we can make a fence that looks something like this. It's just a generic, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. Whether it's gonna look good or not. The problem I have with these kinds of fences is I tend to do rock walls or solid fences as the back fences to habitats, purely because I'm lazy. And if I do a clear fence like this, when I'm taking a picture of it, you're gonna see, like if I get down here, you're gonna see that in the background. So I tend to do solid backdrop fences so that I don't have to worry about what's behind the habitat. But we haven't done walls or centerpieces. What kind of centerpiece would you want for a horse habitat? Let's put the horses in, because that always kind of helps too, is looking at the size of the animal and the habitat and stuff. So I'm actually going to flatten out back here, because I envision that this kind of continues off back here for wherever the backstage and whatnot would be. So we'll just kind of raise all this up. And this would be just a generic height elevation change in the zoo itself. Oh, your birthday's next week and you're probably going to the safari park. Are you somewhere in San Diego? I didn't know that. Or is there a safari park elsewhere? When you say safari park, I think San Diego Zoo Safari Park. But I shouldn't, because safari park is a very common name for animal parks. Let's move this out. Did we vote on how many horses yet? No, we have not, but we can. Oh, I'm already on them. Great. Oh boy. 1 to 8, or 3 to 8. Sorry. So let's do, we'll do 8. How many horses? We'll do 3, 5, 6, and 8. I can only do 4 options, so there you go. 3, 5, 6, or 8. You think centerpieces would be kinder of the two? Huh? Oh, pay no attention to you guys? Are you guys having a separate conversation? Okay. Then I won't pay attention to you. Do 3 Puggle Studios. You have to vote in the poll. That way you can have a chance. See you later, Ring. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go 8 horses. I mean, it's not a terrible number. It's not like some of the other animals that really don't like big groups. Uh-oh. Heather. Oh, that's what you were talking about. You guys are not allowed to conspire. I mean, I guess you are allowed to conspire because there's nothing I can do about it, but thank you, Heather. We'll get our horses in and then we'll do some blindfolding. So centerpieces. Oh, that's going to be awful. This menu? Really? Oh, you're going to make me place a bunch of stuff that I don't know what to do with. God, we're going to end up with like 50 statues, Heather. and more salamander legs. I mean, there's not some bad stuff in here. We're going to turn blueprints off. If I start to build blindfolded and don't have blueprints off, somebody scream at me. I'm going to end the poll. How many horses are we doing? We are doing 5. Okay, cool. Now, I'm pretty sure it said, yeah, it said 1 male, so we're not going to vote on that. We're just going to get 1 male and 4 females. Not storage. Reset that. Shavalsky's horse. I mean, walls might be more usable. Oh, so here, these 2 females. And that female, that's 3. What'd I say? We did 5? Yeah, we did 5. So that was 3 females. We need 1 more female. 1 more female and a male. All of these. Oh, it's not even a habitat yet. I guess I should do that. We should put a fence around it so that people can actually get to it. Don't forget to turn off blueprints. Thank you. I haven't started yet, but I will hopefully not forget. Around here. My favorite part about null barriers is I don't have to be precise or really care where I place them, which is fantastic. There we go. And then we'll change all this to null as well, since we're doing our custom fence. And then let's connect this path. It's gonna be ugly for now. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There we go. And get our animals in. There we go. Perfect. So what I'm hearing is there will be a decoration and filling up space stream in the future. At some point, because we have so many pieces back here that we have to use somehow. And I don't have an idea on how I'm going to use them. Like this freaking temple piece, we're going to take it apart and use the individual pieces, but we need to build like a tropical habitat or something like that. Oh, these guys are bigger than I thought they were going to be. But that's okay. Maybe we'll do like a barn shelter off to the side because it has a nice flat like back to it, so we can do something like that, which might be good. I know the temple's ridiculous. I can't believe that was one. Or this, like my blueprint of just the facade of a habitat that I built. Dumb. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're waiting on 1 more horse. Where is it? Here it comes. Go away, staff members. We don't care about your problems. Okay, we have our horses. There we go. Let's place some stuff. Let's go over here, away from things. You said construction and centerpieces. We're gonna turn off blueprints. That's not the right tab. Turn off blueprints here. Okay, great. Which is not to say that I could potentially turn them back on. I know, I sound so excited, don't I, Heather? I sound so excited. So excited to place random things. Possibly download a new game on my computer. Let me fix this so I can actually get my blindfold on my head. Oh, Gus, you're gonna leave right before we're gonna be blindfolded. All right, you can feel the enthusiasm. That's right. Let's get excited. Put this on my head. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's see what happens. 5 whole freaking minutes. Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. Let's build. I know, timer. Ready? Here we go. Let me start off. We're at the top of the menu, okay? Here we go. Put this down so I can't see anything. Where's my timer? All right, here we go. I gotta listen. Oh, I forgot my other, where's my other headphone? I gotta be able to hear what I'm placing. All right, here we go. Good. Off to a good start. Up. Oh, we haven't done the centerpiece one, so I don't know what things sound like. Okay, let's go back down because I placed like 4 of those things. Let's do some scrolling. I'm gonna try not to click a ton of times so that we don't get a ton of random items, like, or a ton of the same items. Let's go back up. Oh, that one's really quiet. It sounds really small. Okay, back down. I think I just hearded something. I thought I heard like that kiss noise. Down. Uh-oh, I'm not selecting things. Oh, I hearted something, so I'm still on the menu. That's good. Okay, I got something. Back up. Up. Oh, that sounds bigger. Uh-oh. Okay. This sounds like a statue or something bigger in this centerpiece menu. So let's not place 1,000 of them. Okay, back down. Not down far enough. Down, down, down. Okay, back on the menu. Fantastic. Let's do some more scrolling because this is a big menu. Centerpiece menu was a good choice. Oh, that's hearted something. I'm gonna have to go unheart everything because I don't use the favorites or anything like that. Okay, we've got something else. Let's go back up. This sounds a little smaller. God, 5 minutes is always so long. I know it's probably only been like 30 seconds. Oh God, I've hearted something else. Let's go back down. Do some scrolling. Hopefully I haven't turned back on blueprints or gone to a different menu. Let's go up. Nope, I'm still on the menu. Okay, I'm placing something. This sounds smaller, but it still sounds like a statue because it has like that rock sound when you place it. I have to watch these back. I haven't watched the last couple to know if I've gotten things right because I don't remember when we end. I don't remember what I was guessing it was. Okay, I've got something else. Let's go up. Place. Place. This sounds hollow. Like a piece of wood. Like a, I know it's probably not a beam or anything because that's not in centerpieces. Oh, is it one of the wooden statues? Because aren't the new conservation statues wooden? Okay, am I back on the menu? Nope. Let's go down. Okay, back on the menu. Let's do up scrolling, down. I'm gonna do a lot of scrolling. That way we get like a random thing. Okay, I selected something else. Uh-oh. That was a change in menu, wasn't it? Because it did that little whistle thingy. What am I on? Oh, I'm selecting things, but I don't think I'm placing things. Am I on a different menu? Oh, I am placing things. But that's not placing something. Okay, that was still placing. This sounds kind of like the same. Okay, back down. I swear, if I'm back in, what is it, enrichment items, like last time? Okay, that selected something else. That was good. Let's go up. Oh, that sounds like a tree. Did I get onto the foliage menu? Or the nature menu, whatever that tab is called? Let's go back down. Okay, back on the menu and selecting things. Do some scrolling. Up and down, side to side. I don't want to go side to side too much because I don't want to get off the menu. Good Lord, how much time is left? Okay, that also sounds like a tree. But like a... It sounds like a piece of wood again. Okay, back down. Got something else. Let's scroll. Something else. Oh, good. I did get onto the tree menu. Wow, look at this. I made like a whole little Oh, I got it right. I got it right. This was totally when I said we were placing like a wooden statue, right? Because aren't these wooden? I'm getting real good at guessing the sounds of these things when I place them. And it's the Chevalsky's wild horse. How many did I place? Hopefully not a ton. 3? Oh, 3, 4, 5? Okay, that could have been better. Oh, some fountains. Was I great at the sounds? Did I do good this time, Heather? At least it will be easy to move it all? Yeah. Oh, my eyes are always so blurry after this because my contacts get squished into my face. Hold on, I gotta, like, be able to see things clearly again. You're happy about the horses? Well, the problem is, what are we gonna do with, oh god, I placed more of these trees. These are the first trees that we ever placed blindfolded, so now I've got to find space for more of them. Logs, okay. That's not too bad. These can be useful pieces. These drums, I don't know what the heck we're gonna do with. Oh, my eyes are still blurry. I mean, at least it wasn't I was guessing it was kind of like the enrichment tab, so that's good. Oh god, there's more. Let's move. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. Should we just put them in the habitat like they're animals? They could be with the real animals. Drums as the stands for the horses. Did I place enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. So we have 6 horses and 6 stands. We have, what the heck? These are part of signs. A badger tail. Okay. And what is this? A lynx front leg. We have some badger tails and lynx front legs. Great. There's more up in the sky somewhere. Oh, they're right here. I was like, I could see the shadows, but I couldn't see the actual piece. Let's put them all down here. Oh, that was a good one. Thanks, Heather. And I guess also kind of tumbly for deciding what menu we were going to be in. We're going to need to do a water feature somewhere. Oh, look at this. I placed crocodiles. Or caimans. These are the caiman statues. And then we have some planters. Oh, boy. Oh boy, more animal parts to go with the salamander legs. Yeah, I'm thinking what we do is at some point we should make like a mythical creature sign, and we could just make our own animal out of the salamander legs, the badger tails, the whatever these are, lynx legs, lynx feet. Yeah, Brittany, that's kind of exactly what I was thinking. Oh, animal centipede. Like, didn't we, I feel like we talked about this on stream a few weeks ago, right? The human centipede movie, that disgusting, gross, creepy as hell movie. All right. Well, let's start using crap. I wonder, actually, this doesn't have too bad of foliage. We could also use it as a bush or like some really green grass. Is this cheating to use it like barely visible like this? If we put it down, I mean, I guess it's not cheating, right? That doesn't look too bad. Looks like it could be like a fuzzy plant of some sort, right? Let's go. We're gonna try to utilize more of the pieces in the habitat we're currently working on when we do the blindfolded stuff. I think that's a good idea. And that way it doesn't get forgotten about. And it adds a little bit more chaos. Could have used signs under the horse statues for names. Well, I mean, this is not to say we can't use other pieces, right? We have to use these pieces and figure out how the heck they are gonna fit into our habitat. I don't personally feel like this is cheating, so let me know if you guys feel like this is cheating. But I think this is innovative. To use these as ground cover. We can use more of this over here, and then we can even duplicate, not that one. I want this bush. There we go. We can duplicate this. Not cheating, perfect. I've got quality pieces. I know, it wasn't too bad. Somehow, like I said, I made it onto the foliage tab, but it wasn't too bad. I'm wondering if we can... Yeah, I do sink trees down as bushes all the time. I just feel like that one I like have barely showing. Just the very tippy tops. But I'm wondering if we can use these as like planters on the inside, right? Oh, they are recolorable. This is great because if we do that, check it out, they kind of look like they're built into the rocks, right? So we can do maybe like every other one if we use these, because we can always place more of them. There's nothing to say that we can't place more of the objects. We just have to use the ones that we place down. Hey, Shemare, how are you? Shemare, however you say that. Yeah, this is awesome. Like I said, this is, or like I have said before, that this forces me to use objects that I probably wouldn't have used anyway. Like honestly, I probably would have just taken the mulch and just put mulch down and made it look like a planter without any sort of real like barrier or container. But this is kind of cool having it be like every other fence post like this. And then, yeah, we'll change all the colors to match the rocks. So it looks like when they made this wall, they like, you know, made the planters as well. That's a pretty good thing. Still waiting for me to use the Arctic rocks. Me too. I don't know what we're going to do with them. We should, like I said, I think what we should do now is I've been putting off using the blindfolded pieces, but I think if we build blindfolded and place a bunch of pieces, whatever we're currently working on, we've got to try to use them in that habitat. And I think that's how it should have been all along. So that's what we're going to do. That's the new rule. That's the new rule. It makes it challenging, and it'll minimize our graveyard. So if we do this, so then that was all of them, right? Go. So now we're gonna have to place more of these because I didn't place enough. Hey, Elephant Puppet, how's it going? We can continue, and this will just be for like the lower walking area. I don't think I will continue it up to where the raised walkway is. But then we can take some of the foliage and fill these up so that they have some plants in them. Maybe we'll put some ponytail palms, because that's what I put in front of every habitat. Have a sneaky caiman statue hiding in the habitat. Like it's gonna eat the horses? What kind of zoo are we running? That's going to be the hard part is, you know, I've placed statues that don't match the animal. We were so lucky to have picked the Przewalski's horse statue because that's what we're building for. But that is not the case all the time. Like one of the first times we placed capybaras. What was one of the first statues we placed? You can build a feeder station. Oh, just kidding. That comment went away. An ethical one, clearly. Yeah, that's right. Oh, look at this. And it even, like, was symmetrical, where it's going to end with a planter, and it starts with a planter. It's perfect. Cool. Very cool. Alright, so now if we change all these to the same color... And honestly, what I should have done is I should have put plants in them and then duplicated them all. But I don't think ahead like that. So there we go. So that doesn't actually look too bad. That looks great. So we have 3 caiman statues. These are going to be easy to place because we can just kind of have them be stumps in the habitat, right? I probably wouldn't have placed 4 but maybe, will these like mesh into each other if we place, like if it looks like one big tree, right? Like there was, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So there was one big tree right here that we cut down. So we'll place 2 more, I think, to make it look a little better, a little more round. Like that. And then 1 more to kind of make that other side a little round. And then we'll do 1 on the other side of the habitat. The planters look fab. Thank you. I'd love to take credit for it, but I was forced to use them. So they weren't my idea, but I do think they look good now that they're there. Let's see, can we kind of put this so it somehow makes it round? Maybe we just leave it as 3 of them. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like somebody did a really crappy job cutting down a tree, but it saves us from putting a ton of them all over the place. And so maybe we'll put another one right here. Actually, we'll do this. So we have 3 of them left, right? So we'll delete these 3, but we'll duplicate the 3 that are in the habitat, and that way they're already in the formation that they need to be. Giving you ideas for stumps? Perfect. Oh, fantastic. We can't actually select them. There we go. So we'll duplicate these, and we'll put this one over here, like this is another tree that they cut down. Like that. Okay, that doesn't look bad. What in the heck are we gonna do with these, though? One of these, I feel like... No, it's too big. I was gonna say, one of these we could do... We might be able to kind of sink into whatever back facade building we're using as their water. If we kind of really lower it down. Uh-oh, please name a capybara Shell and place another Sam Seagull. Perfect. Thank you, Shells Bells. We get hearts and money bags and all the fun stuff. Thank you. Yeah, so if we do this, because I think this is recolorable too, we can put this here, and then if we put a wall that's kind of in front of that concrete, then it'll just look like this is kind of built into the building. So we'll put that for now. Let's take care of, let's naming a capybara. Do you have a preference, male or female capybara, Shells? Or does it matter? Maybe one of the babies? Do you want a baby to be named Shell? And then we need another Sam Seagull. So let's go over to our Sam Seagull. Sam Seagull graveyard sounds bad, but it's kind of what it is. And duplicate. And whoa! And another seagull. Ta-da! We're working our way around. We're gonna get this entire railing covered in seagulls at some point. And then we're gonna have to put this somewhere in the zoo. In fact, actually, let's move it over here because I think this got placed in one of our first ones. So we'll make this one of the first things that you see when you come in the zoo. There you go. A baby. Perfect. Let's go get, I think there's 2 babies in here. So let's get this little baby and Shell. There you go. There's the little baby. Oh, there's more than 2 babies in here. Standing next to his mom taking a nap. What's a flock of seagulls called again? I don't remember. We looked it up, but I don't remember. So somebody's going to have to look it up for me. Well, yes, a flock of any birds, but I think there was like a special collective name for them. I mean, other than making like a herd of these guys, is there anything? We might be able to turn one of these guys into like a sign if we take a wall. Let me see if it's built that way or not. So we might be able to do something like this where he's kind of like a part of like an educational sign or something like that, I guess. He kind of looks like a mount. Is that bad? If we if we make it look like a taxidermy mount? A new wave band? Yeah, I don't, because that one's over my head, so I don't quite get that one. Maybe a rock planter to put them together as a herd? Like, just, I feel like that's kind of just like a mob. Yeah, it looks very much like a mount, right? I feel like that's a no-no in a zoo. If we if we make it look like a taxidermy mount. But again, I mean, it's kind of, it's not a realistic, so the cartooniness of it might save it. We'll keep it as an idea. We won't do it for sure, but that's my only idea for those guys. We won't end up using that because we already did foliage and stuff like that. We do have stands for them. These are what I don't know what to do with. That's going to be the hardest one. And then these caiman statues. Maybe we do a caiman habitat next to this one, and then we just place a bunch of those statues. Let's finish placing these, because I want to use up all of these little tumbleweed thingies. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will place 7 of them just along the edge down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more over here. There we go. Just as like some dead grass growing in the shade area that doesn't really get taken care of very much. So we use those. Wow, we are doing fantastic today at kind of utilizing some of the graveyard stuff. Like, we got rid of all those rocks. We got rid of all of the, we had these little plants with the yellow flowers. Thanks so much for hanging out, Jonty. Hope you have an awesome day, and hopefully I'll see you on a Sunday at some point in the future. But thanks for hanging out. And then we have all of these water thingies, and unless we just like give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water troughs, we could just make sure each horse has their own individual water trough. I don't really know what to do with them. We could actually, we could use them in other habitats. I don't really know how, though. The graveyard is being emptied. I know, that should be one of our goals, is to empty our graveyard. That's true. We could save them for the rest of the hoof stock that we know that we're gonna have. So let's put them back over here. And then we're gonna save these. Oh my lord! To help use the caiman statues, add a dwarf caiman! Woohoo! Thank you, Shells Bells. That is, which one were you trying to redeem that one for? Because I don't know what the conversion is. For me, it says 18 pounds. I don't know what the conversion between USD and pounds is, but the animals are supposed to be 25. So which menu item were you wanting to redeem that for? It's a banana stream! It's a bold! Bold, we're building for the horsies. See? Ta-da! It's not done, but we have horsies! Yeah, it is 25. But hold on, let's let Shells Bells answer, because they might be meaning something else. Oh god, it's really hot in my office today. Oh, it wasn't allowing you to do 25? That's strange. It wouldn't let you pick a certain price? That does, it does sound about right. So let me, hold on, let me Google it real quick. I am super appreciative of the, oh yeah, 18 pounds is like $22, 23, so no problem. We'll call it close enough with the conversion and everything. Thank you. Super appreciative of the donation. Just want to make sure that we're being fair to everybody on stream. So caiman. So do we want to put the caiman right next to them? We could totally do like a little caiman habitat right over here. That's so strange, you guys. Is it making you guys do certain levels of super chats? Because if that's the case, then I might need to rework our menu. We haven't given the horses a piano yet. A walkthrough caiman habitat. Is that? I don't think that's... I mean, it's possible, but they don't actually like that, right? Are any of the caiman walkthrough? Guests can enter no. Guests can enter no. Okay, well, we can do that. But it's not supposed to be done. Oh, that's a good idea, Tumbly. Let me see. So these guys are least concerned, so that's a no. But what about the spectacled? Yeah, they're both least concerned, so probably not. But that's okay. I will look at that then, you guys, because I didn't realize when I've super chatted before, I've been able to like type in a certain amount. But if that's not the case anymore and they've changed it, then I will change our menu to work with those different things. So I will have to, let me look into that. YouTube has been changing a lot lately, so they probably did something and then didn't tell their streamers. Didn't tell their content creators. Okay. Oh, and I need to write down the caimans. Shells, did you have a specific caiman or just either of them? Because if it's either of them, we'll let the chat vote. Oh, okay. Weird. All right. Then I'll look into that. Because they added things like gifted members and stuff like that. So I know they were kind of updating some of the monetization tools. But I want to make sure that it's easy for everybody. Okay. Either caiman. Oh, hello. I didn't even pick a poll. Don't vote on that. It just started a poll with no question. There you go. Yes, no. All right. Which caiman? We have dwarf or spectacled. Great. Go. Yeah, Heather, I went to start a poll and it was like, ask your community, and then it popped up and I was like, I didn't even type anything in. Jumping the gun on me. You forgot there was two? No problem. Let's see, spectacled or not. Spectacled or dwarf. While we're doing that, let me take this wall and maybe start the back facade of this. Should we keep? I feel like that looks a little too classical to keep like that in there. So I'm more inclined to do this kind of thing and bring it all the way forward. Like that. And then we'll straighten this out. Then we have the start of a wall. How exciting. How exciting is that? There we go. And then we could probably do like we're not gonna make stalls, but we'll do like maybe like a fence area where you can see like they bring them back into some like back holding yards or something like that over here. You're on mobile. I don't think it does. No, it's just a water. So we'll put plaster in the bottom so it doesn't look like a dirt trough. No, the wall is not blue. It's not even close to blue. It's brown. Look how defensive I get about the color blue. You guys have scarred me. What'd you guys say? Spectacled. Woohoo. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are fantastic. But I say we're gonna probably wrap it up there. It's getting like 1,000 degrees in my office, and I don't know if you can see like how shiny my face is getting. But I'm a little sweaty. Just a little bit. Let's put some enrichment items in here for them first. Forgot where I was going for a second. Here we go. Let's give them a piano because we have to. It's my favorite thing to watch them do. Their little lip wiggle. If I put this there, are you gonna really screw up my terrain? Of course you are. So maybe we put it over here where the terrain is already flat. And you don't have to mess up my terrain work. Thank you. There's that. We can do maybe a little feeder in this tree, which also might mess up my terrain work. But let's see. We do something like this. Oh, it wasn't too bad. That's easy to fix. We're fantastic sometimes. There you go. Caveat, sometimes. Just kid. You guys are fantastic all the time. Gotta go to sleep. Have a good sleep, Alice. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we got that. We got that. They have water, even though they're not going to use it, but it's sandbox, so we don't care. And maybe a ball. If we put this ball here, it's going to roll to the floor, but that's okay. That's realistic anyway, so we'll give them a ball. It's a lot of horses for this little area. It's a lot of poop. Okay. I think that's good. I think it's good. We're fantastic at deciding what color doors are. No, you're not. You're terrible at that. I would say not a thing to put on your resume. Selecting the color of doors. Or identifying the color of doors. But there you go, guys. I think that's pretty fantastic. I don't know why chat's not on the screen, but there you go. You can look at my face for a while. Thank you guys for all the super chats and helping decide and voting and not causing too much chaos. I think we actually, let's go back to this real quick and do my usual thing here because we got to get a thumbnail picture. So let's pause it right when that horse is not doing something strange. And take a thumbnail picture like this, I guess, and we'll put the horse on the left-hand side. There we go. That's not too bad. And I don't have a green screen picture of the Przewalski's Wild Horse yet, so that's good that we're going to get that right now. Let's see. Let's move you. I hit the M button like it works on animals, but it doesn't. I know, it was a fantastic stream. Thank you, guys. He's got his lip up in a wiggle. We could take a picture of this. Here we go. Gotta put a wall behind it, though. To hide the blue so we don't get a blue cast. Like that. Beautiful. And let's zoom in a bit so that it's nice and big. Whoa. There we go. And then bring our green screen in. There we go. What a flattering picture for the horse. What a flattering picture for the horse. Should we take a normal one, or is that one going to be good enough, you think? Are you going to turn around? If you'll make it easy on me, I'll take a normal picture. But you may not. You are in the sun. You got your ears back, though, and a nasty mare face. Put your ears forward. I want, there you go. I want cute, forward-facing, happy to be a horse ears. Not backwards facing, I hate life ears. Oh, that's not what I wanted. No! Clicking on the wrong things. There we go. I need to be a little lower. There. That's a little better. Perfect. See how long this takes me? It's smiling with all its teethies, I know. Green screen. Bring this forward. Whoa. There we go. Perfect. It's got a little bit of blue cast on the upper left, but I'm okay with that because that might get cut off when I edit that. There we go. Cam froze. We're almost done with the stream, camera. You couldn't just hang in like 5 more minutes? Let me fix it. Hold on. Did it work? Okay, there we go. And I'm back. I can move. Moving and grooving. Okay, we saved. We're good. We saved. We're good. Chatting. We almost made it the whole stream. I know. I know. All right, you guys. I'm going to go get out of my boiling hot office. I got to take this mattress downstairs at some point today, so Matt's going to have to help me. Hey, Sam. Thanks for hanging out, in and out. Hope you enjoyed the parts that you caught. I thought it was a real good stream today. I thought it was real productive. I think we did some good work. What is that? There's a quote from a movie. Oh, it's not a movie. It's Dwight from The Office when he said like, is some good work in there, half pint or something like that, because it's him and Angela. Yes, I'm going to play Sims 4 High School. That's actually, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. After we're done, I have to jump into that and do some builds for the second channel, so the second channel doesn't feel like a forgotten child. But yeah, I gotta update my game and everything and get into that. We got some Blindfolded graveyard usage done. All fantastic things. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to jump off of here. I have a speed build come in tomorrow or the next day on the Aardvark habitat that was featured in the Aardvark overview video, so look out for that. And yeah, some second channel videos on Sims 4 stuff if you're interested in that. But thank you guys for all the super chats, the support today. You guys are wonderful. If you're still here before you leave, like button. It's down below. Oh, and it froze again. in the perfect timing. In my little begging face. Hold on, let me fix it real quick so I can say goodbye to you guys properly. It got overwhelmed by all my movement. I know, I always freeze so gracefully. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just, I'm just naturally graceful. But anyway, you guys, bye. Thank you guys so much. Hit the like button. I'll see you in the next stream or video, whichever one. But either way, have a good one.